Good morning, Guardians. My name is John Keeks. I am making this video to have a consolidated version of all of the information that I have gotten on the internet over the past couple of weeks for the new season. I have 6 different parts. I've tried to make it as organized as possible because the first video that I watched was about 20 minutes and it was mainly packed with filler. I'll add a second in this video to break down for whichever parts that you want to watch, the chapters, you know. So my 6 parts are weapons, weapons system, armor, elements, fighting, raid, and the environment info that I have, since none of those really have a lot of information on their own to have their own section, and then a quality of life update. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, weapons. The new SMG is called Osteostrega, which is kind of translated to Bone Witch or Bone Witch Weed. It's a plant that's used, but not sure how important that is. I just find it interesting. It has swarming projectiles that trigger a toxic burst, similar to Malfeasance or Thorn. It's probably going to be really good in PvP. It'll also probably be really good in the raid as soon as we get there. The next weapon is the Slug Launcher. It's called Grand Overture. It acts like a machine gun, but it also has the same functionality as, the Scorn guns and the Cabal Slug Launcher that you'll see. The next part, it dropped literally 2 days ago. The Worm Launcher. It's called Parasite. It literally launches Baby Hive at the enemy. I don't know. I'm very excited to use it, but Jesus Christ. It's also probably going to be really good for PvP. Not like I would know, as you can tell from the video that you're watching. My PvP skills are not great. Next up is the Glaive. It doesn't have a specific name, it's just called Glaive. It's kind of like the class of the weapon. But it comes in legendary and exotic. It is an energy weapon. It is first-person melee, so that's a lot. It's gonna be really fun to watch people just kind of go ham up close and personal on those Scorn enemies. There are 3 different functions of the Glaive. It has a 3-hit melee cycle, but no ammo, so you don't have to worry about running out of ammo while you're trying to slice and dice shit. It's got a projectile function, which isn't really suited for distance. It's more of like a fusion rifle, so it's gonna be mid to close range, and it does charge, so it's gonna be kind of you gotta be careful. There are 3 separate perks for each class as to what the special ability of the Glaive is gonna be. For Titans, it is Edge of Action. It deploys a domed shield. For Warlock, which I'm excited for, it's called Edge of Intent, and it deploys a healing turret. Please ignore the way that I just said that. And for Hunter, it is Edge of Concurrence, which is very exciting for you hunters out there. It deploys a tracking chain lightning, which, if you guys have seen the new trailer that dropped a couple of days ago, it's fantastic. It's so exciting to actually be able to watch that. It tracks your enemies, and it's fantastic. Another assigned perk that we'll probably get with it is Swashbuckler. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be really good to see the way that you can like it basically feeds itself because it's got the gun aspect and then it's also got the sword, and chef's kiss. I'm so excited to use it. It's also crafted only. It's not something that you can find in the wild. You have to, it's going to be a bit fetch questy, I'm sure. It's going to be just like any of the other weapons that we've had to find in the past as guardians. But it's going to be really, I think they're going to try and make it fun for us, especially, we'll get into it later. There's also a sidearm that was featured in one of the trailers from like last week or the week before last. There's not a lot of info on it. However, it looks like there's like a dial scroll function on them, so you choose the mods like as you're like moving around, which is kind of a thing that we've had in the past, but it's not, I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think this is gonna be a lot more in depth, and I think it's gonna give us a lot more malleability for guns. The next portion, weapon system, allows you to this new weapon system is going to allow you to choose the perk rolls for weapons when you craft them. I'm pretty sure they'll also be malleable in that you can change it like out in the wild, or like whenever you go to a specific place, you know, things like that. You can make your own god rolls basically, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be a long game sort of unlocking quest to get all of the mods that you can get, but I think you know, it's probably gonna get a little tiring as time goes on, but hopefully it won't get, you know, exhausting. You know how Bungie can go. According to Bungie, it's going to be a combat-focused progression system, so I think also the more you use it, it's going to help unlock some of them. I'm sure that there are going to be a few mods that are specific to like, hey, so you have to do this specific strike 1,000,000 times just for the chance for it to drop. But I'm thinking that it'll be pretty fun to grind for it. I like that kind of game. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to upgrade light levels like in specific weapons, although I'm not sure how functional that would be, considering we basically go to Banshee and grab a fucking upgrade module and then we're done with it. But, you know, I digress. Again, Glaive is a crafting only weapon, but we also have a few other weapons that are going to be crafting only. I saw something in the trailer, I can't tell what kind of gun it is, but it has like 5 different slots for mods, and then it also has like a masterwork mod specifically, so I'm very excited about that. Okay, so this is something that is kind of disappointing, but also I'm hoping that it'll be okay. Orbs for multi-kill. Whenever you like masterwork your weapons, it's like you get orbs whenever you get a multi-kill like in quick succession. But it's not going to be on weapons anymore. It's going to be removed from all of the weapons in the game. But there is going to be a helmet mod, and it goes for every single weapon, exotic or otherwise. And I don't think it has to be masterwork or anything like that. I think it just has to be a weapon that you use and get multi-kills with. So I'm not sure what that's gonna mean for like catalysts or other like masterwork mods, but I am excited to be able to get extra orbs for just getting multi-kills with any weapon, even a weapon that I don't use very often. The next part is armor. For Titans, they're gonna get a specific chest piece. It's called Hoarfrost Z. It is so exciting to me a lot of this is really exciting to me, so I'm sorry if I get a little overzealous, but for the Titans, it changes their shield into a stasis wall. Like, what? Excuse me? I'm pretty sure it's only if you use stasis, which means those of us who don't own Beyond Light, don't at me in the comments, will have to buy it in order to use it. But I just think that's incredible. You have this wall. I have a friend who's actually playing with me in this video. You'll be seeing him carrying me through these games, basically. He got so good with stasis before they put it behind the paywall that he would just use his grenade as sort of like a shield. So even as a hunter, he would like he would basically be playing tank, and he's really good at this game. We're all a bunch of idiots, but we like this game and we like to play it. And the way he plays it, especially with this, I think is going to be really good for him. For Warlocks, they are getting the Osmiomancy gloves, which also incredible. It grants an extra stasis grenade and enhances the tracking for them. So I don't know if they're gonna follow quicker or if they're gonna, be able to track a specific enemy or something. I'm really not sure. They haven't given us a lot of info on it. But I think that it's gonna be really cool to have two different grenades at the same time. For hunters, you'll have the Blight Ranger helmet. It is really cool. I'm not as excited for this because I'm not really a hunter player, but reflected projectiles have increased damage, so I think this is going to be really good for like maybe Gambit, which is PvE and PvP. I think it's going to be more geared towards PvE, just because, unless you're a Genji main in Overwatch, it's going to be similar to like just being able to reflect whatever it is back. And if, like me, your opponent has really bad aim, it's going to be hard for, it's going to be hard to reflect anything back when they're not hitting. Alright, next up is elements. Starting February 22nd, 20 days from the day I am recording this, we will be getting Void 3.0. Void is going to be the first of the core elements to be given this rework, to kind of reflect and be closer to the stasis setup. So it's going to be modular, and it's going to be, you're going to have to find aspects. You're probably going to have to grind for everything. Not everything, just the new stuff, which is irritating in and of itself. But I think it'll be really good for us to, be able to find those things in the wild. I'm going to get into specifics right now. For hunters, your Mobius Quiver, wow, if I could speak, your Mobius Quiver will now be enemy seeking and spawns void traps upon impact. Enemies inside the traps receive increased damage and explode upon death. I'm so excited to watch that. For Warlocks, the new melee is kind of like a Hadouken. Whenever I was writing the script for this video, I first called it a Kamehameha, which I understand now, probably not relevant, but I really liked the look of it in the video. A specific rift aspect that you can equip will spawn black holes that track targets and drain their health, kind of like the Arc Soul. And then depending on the rift equipped, the little black holes that follow you are do different things. For the healing rift, you get a grenade and melee ability recharge. For Empowering Rift, you get HP. I think it's kind of cool that they have that give and take aspect, like, oh, you don't have the Healing Rift right now, but if you're still getting empowered, you're just getting extra HP with it, and I'm really happy about that. For Titans, your shield throw, you get overshield for every enemy that it hits. They also have an aspect called Overwatch, which grants overshield to self and nearby allies, which is probably going to be really nice for the raid. They also will be releasing Arc and Solar over the course of the year in this same aspect system, so it's going to be more quests. I think newer Destiny players are going to have a lot to be able to do whenever they start the game. Fighting, environment, and etc. The campaign is basically legendary mode, so there's going to be really good loot in Nightfalls and whatnot, but it is going to be a little bit harder for gameplay. There's going to be a lot of Scorn and Hive. Obviously, for the Hive, it's the Witch Queen. She's literally... Anyways, for Hive Guardians, there will be all of the same classes that we as Guardians have, Hunter, Titan, Warlock, but only Void, Arc, and Solar subclasses. No Stasis. Thank God. You have to crush their ghosts whenever they pop out to permakill them. It's probably gonna have, like, you have to press X, like an interact button. I only say X because I'm an Xbox player. When the solar ones blink to the side, they leave floating blades in the direction that they dodge, and it's basically Blade Barrage. I am in Spain, but the S is silent. I'm not looking forward to that at all, because that's going to be like a one-hit KO. For the raid, it's going to be taking place in Savathun's glittering palace of lies and secrets. What the fuck is that name? That's intense. I'm very excited for this, because this is the year that I have vowed to do a raid. I didn't do one last year, but I'm gonna do one this year. I swear to God. Anyways, the glittering palace of secrets and lies towers above a swamp area. There's a darkness pyramid. I didn't see a lot of like information online or anything like that as to like what specific planet. I'm assuming that we're going to Mars. I'm assuming that that's it, because that's like what they've been leading up to. There's literally, in one of the trailers, Ikora has this map on her wall, and it has a picture of the map from Mars. I haven't played Destiny 1 a whole lot, but I have friends who have, and I saw it in another video that I was watching for research purposes. So, hopefully, I'd like a new planet. Honestly, not that I'm tired of the ones that we have, I just want new content. Please, Bungie. There is the smallest glimmer, no pun intended, full pun intended, of a chance that we could go to Io. There was another picture on Ikora's crazy cork board of a silver tree. I don't remember what it was called specifically, but I've heard that that's on Io. So there's that. I doubt it, just because it's... maybe. It's Bungie. They'll do what they want. Final part. Quality of life improvements. Wayfinder compass. We get to unlock all 25 mods, instead of having to just make do with 12 of them at a time. We'll probably have to get more experience to add into it, so that we can actually get it. But I'm excited to see what we can do with all 25 of them. Not like we'll use all 25 of them at the same time, but it'll be nice to know. they're gonna make it cheaper to switch elements on armor. For legendary armor, it's gonna be 10,000 glimmer and an upgrade mod. For exotic glimmer, it's gonna be 20,000 glimmer and one upgrade mod. Also, this is not anything. I should have fit this in one of the other sections, but Witch Queen armor is sexy. Okay? There's like elements on it, and it's, anyways. That's about it. This is about the end of the video. That's about all I've gleaned from it. All of the content that I have procured from the internet and its lovely sources. I work overnights at this big building in the middle of nowhere, and I have so much time to just do research and stuff. I spent a good hour to 2 hours doing research about Witch Queen and what this season is gonna bring to us, and I'm very excited to see it. I got so excited that I sent my friends a small essay on what everything was gonna be.
1 minute.
I have, once again, opened my arms to the Destiny hyperfixation. If you guys have any other info, or have anything, like any comments, concerns, any suggestions as to how I can make my videos better. I know this is my first video, but I'm really looking forward to getting constructive criticism for this. I really like Destiny. I've gotten really close to a couple of my friends playing this game, and it's made me really happy. It's perfect game, no faults. We all know how true that is, but
It's all or nothing.
let me know in the comments if there's anything you think I should add to this, if there's any sort of information that you guys have gotten that I haven't talked about in this video. Leave it in the comments and tell me how your day
Round
was.
3. Your time.
Alright,
Not for long.
eyes up, Guardian.
Minute. You have this. You're in the lead. Keep it up, and victory is yours. 30 seconds remain. Finish them.
Guardian down.
Numbers don't lie. This round is yours. Round 4. You have match point. Win this. 1 minute. Won't be long now. One final push and victory is yours. 2 for 1. Seconds remain. Finish them. You killed them more than they killed you. That's all I ask. But keep to the Crucible. Well done. I know who to call when the shooting starts.